Let's talk about the difference between an email copywriter and an email marketer. Super important you get this right. An email copywriter writes copy in a Google Doc and sends it to a client and gets paid. And you can get paid thousands of dollars to do this. What about an email marketer? What do they do? An email marketer writes the copy, implements the copy into software and schedules it, tracks results of the broadcast emails, creates broadcast emails one-off lists, creates email series, trigger-based automations, creates segments, cleans lists, A/B tests, establishes email strategy, and sometimes designs emails. They could even develop the emails themselves too. So basically, the email marketer does it all. So that's something to keep in mind when you are learning email copy. Is it's one thing to be able to just write the copy and pitch clients for that, and they can handle the rest. But you will provide more value and make a lot more money if you do all these other things and learn all these other things too. Seems intimidating? Yeah, it does. But you know what? You can learn anything. And guess what? I've learned this. At one point in time, I'd look at this list and be like, oh, like, how the heck do I do that? How do I track results? How do I clean a list? How do I A/B test? Like, this stuff seems all kind of scary and whatever. It's not scary. It's actually easy. It's just like riding a bicycle, right? You just, you get on, and at first you fall over a couple of times, but you figure it out and then you're flying. So just keep this in mind. If you're an email copywriter, like your offer that you make is like, I will write this copy for you and send it to you. And so like, you will make a certain amount of money doing that because you're going to write, if you write good copy, you're going to get people results. But just remember this, the more you can take off a business owner's plate, the more money you can make. The more stuff you can just take off their hands. Busy business owners, they're making lots of money, but they're probably working 12 plus hours a day, every day, no matter what. If you can take stuff off their plate and make their life easier, you will make more money. If you do more, you're going to earn more. And so skill stacking with marketing and understanding email marketing and doing these other things that are involved, if you learn how to do this stuff, you set yourself up for success to earn more. And you know what? A lot of guys you pitch in the DMs, well, you'll say, yeah, I'm an email copywriter. And they'll be like, okay, cool. So can you manage our whole email list and do all these things? Email marketer, list management, it's the same idea. But basically, some people want you to take over the whole thing. So, and if you go pitch somebody with an audience sample and you send them stuff and you land them as a client and they're like, sweet, can you run our whole email operations? You know what I say? Say yes and figure it out. Because you know what? You can say yes and then you can figure it out. All these things, there's a lot involved. How do you implement copy into software and schedule it? Well, you start playing around with software. If you're in e-commerce, that's Klaviyo. What did I do when I landed my first e-commerce email client? You know what I did? Before then, to get confident, so when I can hop on a call with them and say, yes, I've used this software, I started my own fake Shopify store, a mock-up store, just to be able to integrate Klaviyo, because you need a Shopify store or other e-commerce store to connect Klaviyo to, just so I could go into Klaviyo, just so I could play around and create automations and campaigns and stuff, just so I could say I have some experience and to be able to get familiar with it. And then I got hired. I didn't know what I was doing with email marketing. For the first time I learned email marketing with an e-commerce brand. And did I have all these skills before I got hired? No. I knew this, right? I knew this. And what else did I know? I could create nothing. I knew nothing on this list except for this. I knew automations as well. I knew what automations to create. I had never created them in software though. But so how do you figure all this out? You study it, you learn it, you analyze it, you look at content, you go through courses, you study tutorials on different software, and then you get hired. The best way to learn this stuff is get hired ASAP with a client. Get your foot in the door with email copy, and then start to take over all this other stuff. Start to get comfortable in the software and learn it as you go. I learned all this stuff basically on the job. Some of the stuff I knew in theory and whatnot, but you'll learn best by just getting hired. And so just my advice is with anything, honestly, with copywriting, say yes and figure it out later. Say yes and figure it out. Somebody says, hey, can you take over all of our email stuff? Say yes. And then go start studying tutorials, get in the software, start playing around, and become an email marketer. That's how you do it. So just a kind of a recap of what actually is included here is, writing the copy, you know what that is. Go into a Google Doc, write the stuff. Implement copy into software and schedule it. So this means you literally log in. You have a login for their email software, whether this is Klaviyo, Beehive, ConvertKit, or whatever other software they're using. There's lots of software. There's Mailchimp, there's Kajabi, there's ActiveCampaign, there's tons of different email software. The top three that I recommended: Klaviyo, Beehive, ConvertKit, but it could be a bunch of other things. But you know what? A lot of the email software, it's very similar. They're all similar things you do in there and whatever. So you would go in there and you would be the one to actually take the copy you wrote in a Google Doc, paste it into a new email. You go into their editor that they use, paste it in there, make sure there's no spelling errors, make sure there's, you're including links and calls to action and stuff like that. Sometimes you're plugging and playing buttons and doing other things, and you get the email set up, it's good to go. And you say, here's the subject lines, here's the preview text, and then you schedule it. Okay, we're going to send to this list, this email list, our full list, and we're going to send it at this time. We're scheduled for tomorrow at 8 a.m. Click. And you test it and you look at things and whatever. And that's that. And then track results. Email software, once you send an email, every time you send one, it shows you, here's the average, here's the open rate from this email, here's the average click rate, here are, how many people ordered a product, here's the revenue, here's the unsubscribe rate, all the stuff. So then you track your results, and you can create monthly reports or just keep track of results in general. And all the email software will show you this right there, really easy to analyze. You can create broadcast emails, which are one-off blasts, and you can create email series. So these are trigger-based automations. So knowing how to create those two things, there you go. You can create segments. So these are people who are just interested in this style of product. These people are interested in this kind of product. These people sign up for this waitlist. These people are, they just are new in the past 30 days. You can segment people however you want. Clean your list. Another important thing of being an email marketer is actually going in and removing subscribers who are not engaging with your emails. If they're not opening or clicking or replying or doing anything, remove them. You don't want those people on your list. The more people on your list, it's not always the better. You want the more engaged people on your list. If people aren't opening your emails and you start sending out tons and tons of emails with a large percentage of those people not opening them, Gmail and Yahoo and Apple Mail, all these other, email guys, they're going to be like, it looks like these guys are sending spam because they keep sending emails and nobody's opening them. So then you will start landing the spam folders, promotions folders. Here's little hints and tips for you to improve deliverability. So that's a key part of email marketing. Make sure deliverability is good. Make sure your list is clean. A/B testing. And actually one thing I didn't put on here, I realized, grow the list. You got to create forms. I said it in the previous thing. Forms, landing pages, sign up forms. Grow the actual list. You can create the forms. You can even design them if you want. You could create landing pages. You could basically figure out how to get people onto your list and grow your list. In addition to not just cleaning it, but growing the list. A/B testing. Okay, we want to send emails and get better open rates. A/B test your subject lines. Okay, we're going to send this email. Email software is super easy to do this. We're going to send out this email today. We're going to implement it in software. Before we schedule it, let's actually do an A/B test where we test this subject line versus this one, and we send this out to the list. Oh, this one did way better. Okay, let's keep notes of that and do more open subject lines like that to increase open rates. And then strategy. What do you want to do with your email strategy? Are you trying to push a specific product? Are you wanting to focus on promoting a specific lead magnet? Are you wanting to set up more automations? What do you want to do? This is even hey, directing the business owner or the other marketing people, hey, we need to promote our lead magnet on social media posts. Can you send out this thing? And this could even be coming up with email campaigns hey, let's do a promotion for Black Friday. And for this Black Friday, instead of doing our usual 15 or 20% off site wide, maybe actually let's do a bundle deal. Hey, if you buy this and this, you're going to get, save even more things. And maybe you're going to come up with promotions and hey, let's do a one-time launch, or let's do a free shipping weekend if you're e-commerce, or let's do a product launch. You might be involved in the product launch strategy. This is more advanced stuff, but you might come up with, basically ideas and pitching different marketing advice, maybe even beyond email, general marketing strategy. This is where you start leveling up and going towards as you grow in this, which is what I've done. The next thing you do is you could design the emails or develop them. So this is actually, e-commerce in particular is very much design heavy, not always, but mostly. And so some businesses will want you to design. And if you don't, you can work with a designer. You don't have to be a designer, but These are all things you could do. You could even develop. But doing these things and learning this and skill stacking email copy with email marketing, you make yourself much more valuable in the marketplace. You provide more value to a business owner. You take more off their plate. And you do more for them. You also, when you choose to learn this stuff too, even if you just write the copy, even if you're like, you know what, I just want to write the copy and just do that, knowing this stuff will help you write copy better too. It'll help you give you a bigger picture overall. Even if you're not confident to pitch email marketing and do all the stuff for business yet, like even if you're like, I just want to pitch this for now because that's what I'm comfortable with, still learn this stuff. It makes you that much more valuable in the marketplace. But there you go. There's the difference between an email copywriter and an email marketer. You are an email copywriter. You will become better. You will make more money if you start learning email marketing in addition to copywriting.